Hi guys, this is skittflash here, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3 FES. We are starting off funky with the Tartarus exploration. Could you believe this is Want to Be Close? I mean, obviously, as soon as they start singing, it's pretty obvious, but this is Want to Be Close of the Reincarnation remix made by the same composer. Um, but it just features, they remixed most of the soundtrack, and it's awesome. It's honestly pretty damn awesome. I love the Reincarnation mixes. They change up a lot too, at least some of them do, like this one, and I like it. But yeah, besides that, it's been a while since I've even listened to Want to Be Close, all things considering. It's the semester 1 school theme, which gets replaced by changing seasons after semester 2, so like, it's been a while, man. Anywho's, we're going back, yes, to the Tartarus things. We're going to be doing a lot of it today. As you can see, it's a short part. Well, that's mostly because there's a lot of speeding up today. I didn't notice it, but I guess learned Dacunda pretty soon, which is a godsend, if you actually use it during battle, which is left still, up to debate. But Dacunda is a fantastic spell, such as Decadra. It cancels out any, Dacunda cancels out any debuffs that are on your party, which is always nice. In Shin Megami Tensei, like, in all the other, like, the mainline Shin Megami Tensei games, that's, like, one of the godsend spells, because debuffs and buffs and debuffs just become, like, the main thing of the whole, like, battles. And, like, you have bosses just spamming, like, Dacunda every single time you try to use a move, and it ends up making fights take a long, long time. But it's nice to have on your end, so, you can live up to the competition. But, yeah. And she's close to learning Garudine. Well, she was about to learn Garudine when we first got her, so it's been a while. She still has some ways to go, I'm pretty sure. But yes, more of this speeding up stuff. Most of these guys are weak to thunder, I guess. It's amazing that I still can use actually my Dionysus. I really should get a new Thunder Persona user, but he has been saving my ass for like bosses upon bosses, so I just form an attachment to him. That happens a lot of times with some Personas, honestly. You just do that because, like, you've spent so much long together that you just don't want to let him go, even though it's like a Pokemon, except, like, you can't get into the mentality, because in this game, the moment, you have something better, you replace that shit, man. As heartless as it is, you gotta do it. I could have sworn these guys were... Oh yes, these guys are weak to light and dark magic, but I'm just... Again, as I've stated before, I do want to get, cert up a few levels so I can actually learn that special move that, what move would that be again? Ragnarok, of course, I'm so silly. I so want him to learn that move that I'm willing to, like, risk my life on a red shadow to actually just make sure he gets the level up, even though they're weak to light magic. I love it when the strong guys are weak to that, because it just makes them just like normal guys, except that if you miss, then there's a strong chance of dying. Even though they actually use light magic themselves, so it's not that bad. Anyway, oh wow, shit, I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's right, I guess is still weak to electricity. I'm talking so weird today, aren't I? That's... Okay, so now she knows Dacunda, I think. That's nice. It's actually going at a reasonable pace. I didn't realize the times 360 speed. Very, very specific, just so that, like, the speeding up lines of the song. Which I just do for fun, honestly. I usually find a song that's around the length of the speedy uppiness, and then tweak the speedy uppiness ever so slightly so that it matches up with the song. And it just so happens that this one matched up with the amount of time that the speedy uppiness matched up with Want to Be Close. Because what else would I get a chance to show off Want to Be Close, honestly? A reoccurring theme about visiting these Tartarus exploration things is that we're actually running out of SP pretty quickly. Even Yukari, who is like an SP tank, so to speak, runs out pretty quickly. But whatever. We're right next to the end, so we're pretty set. It's not that big of a deal. Anywho, so we're at the boss thing. So we're gonna be, as usual. I don't know how we could avoid it. We're gonna be facing off with the Tartarus boss of this floor. And that should be fun. And fun little piece of behind-the-scenes trivia. This boss absolutely wrecked me. I had trouble with it. So, to compensate, I made a Thor. A Thor because I'll talk about the boss's stats later, but Thor nulls strike and the boss uses strike damage, so that would be like, the totally ideal thing to have on my Thor, right? I mean, and you need to use electric attacks to hurt it, so that'd be like the way to go, right? You gotta use my Thor to actually do damage and take less damage, and it would be swell and it'll be fantastic, and then we'll totally kick the boss's ass with our Thor, right? I actually remade this Thor to make sure he has Repel Strike, which I got from my cert. Remember that because of the actual change in skills. Um, they want to change Zeodyne. I'm almost tempted to make that happen, but I'm not because you never know. I mean, I want my Zeodyne. It could become something fantastic, but I'll just stick with the Zeodyne. I'm sad he doesn't get Electric Amp with immediately through social links. Again, you need maximum strength to do this. No. Yes. Something along those lines. But anywho's, long story short, that Thor didn't really work. So I decided to do the cop out of this boss battle, as you'll see later, and make a Callie. Making sure that this Callie actually inherits Thor's Repel Strike. I also added Mind Charge. Not sure why. She's a primarily physical attacker. I don't think she actually can even inherit spells. I tried really hard to actually make her have Zeodyne because that would just make things ideal. But she totally did it. She wouldn't for the life of her inherit Zeodyne, so I decided to just cut my losses. And no, I don't want anything to happen to Repel Strike, not at all. Repel Strike is what's going to save my ass during this boss battle. Anywho's, we have Revolution, which is also nice. That's a nice change. At people just naturally increases crit rate, which is very nice in itself. I don't think you'll ever need Fire or Wind Boost. The reason I keep spells like that is because I have feelings that like the next time when I actually fuse like this persona into something else, maybe, who knows, maybe like they'll need Fire or Wind Boost. So that's why I like always keep that. I mean, it always helps because like sometimes I inherit like resist ice and they're actually weak to ice, and then it's just the greatest feeling in the world. But anywho's, with my Callie and this club, as you can see, I'm going to go off to fight this boss fight because well, yeah, I don't know why I'm saying because it's the game. Anyways, but back to the subject of totally wrecking me. First, I'm going to start off with my buffs. I guess this is kind of useless. Revolution, especially because these guys are primarily physical attackers, is kind of silly. It's a momentary lapse of judgment, but I had some mentality to it. So anywho's, these guys, the only resistances they have are Zeo, and I think maybe Ice. I'm not sure about the Ice, but either way, we don't have Mitsuru, so we can't really be doing that. And they're also strong. Very, very strong. The only moves they have are slash moves and strike moves. They have a pierce move, but it's really, really weak in comparison to everything they have. So even with Thor's null strike, if they use slash, then like, you're kind of clipped. You're still gonna die, like I did. They're gonna die a lot, actually. Which is why I decided to totally cop out like I'm doing right now. So Callie is naturally resistant to oh yeah, they're all getting critical hits and totally killing my party, which I'm absolutely fine with. My whole strategy here is to let everyone but Minato die, honestly now. So the whole point is Callie resists, totally blocks strike, and we also have repel slash. So, long story short, they cannot do anything to me. They have null, these enemies have null slash, which means that swords won't work, which is the whole reason I switched to clubs. But they're also resistant to strike damage, which clubs do, so I don't do that much damage to them, but they don't do any damage to me. So long story short, this was a very, very long boss fight, and instead of showing you all 12 minutes of me just mashing X, I decided to skip that one. Just speed that up to all hell 1,000 times. It took like 12 minutes maybe. Normally I'm against speeding up the boss fights because I speed up everything else and I kind of feel bad. I gotta show something in normal time, right? But that boss battle in particular, I literally was just matching X the entire time. They could not hurt me. I would slowly whittle down their life. It was a very long and tedious process. I didn't even watch it. I was on, the internet the whole time I was doing that fight. while just mashing X in the background. So if I don't watch it, I honestly don't expect you guys to have to watch that. That's just me. It's probably the whole reason this part is shorter. I didn't consider the fact that, I'd be skipping that entire boss fight. But now that we killed it, thank God, it was the most cop-out thing ever, but I'm happy I did it, because, again, if you had some proper way of using Zeo on an immense amount of luck, maybe you could actually kill it faster. But I didn't. So, back to the TARDIS exploration, and I figured since I showed the Semester 1 school theme in the first speedy up thing, I thought it'd only be natural to show the Semester 2 school theme during the second part. And it actually really worked out in general, because, the times were totally matched up, and I was just, this is the best thing ever. The bosses are also, the common enemies, rather, are also wrecking me. That kind of worries me. I should be grinding. I think I should be grinding? I have no idea. These enemies right here actually do have a very interesting pattern. They infuriate you on purpose because they totally block every type of physical, and when you're infuriated, you actually can only do physical attacks, so it's like a really clever strategy. If it wasn't for the fact that Minato has a wind sphere, and therefore does wind damage with physical hits, which they happen to be weak to, so it's just the most hilarious thing ever. I totally love that. These guys are also weak to strike, which my random persona I just so happen to have does, even though they miss all the time. Oh, that was the worst thing ever. You couldn't see it with all the speediness going on. But Ken actually got charmed. He was the only one to get charmed, but then Ken actually attacked Minato, and it just so happens that my sword has a chance of charming enemies, which I did not know, and I just kind of find that bull, because it's just like that's come on, man. Like, it never works on enemies, but the one time it hurts, like, he gets charmed, retaliates, he suddenly charms my party, and that was just kind of bullshit. What was nice though is my Suzaku learned Null Ice, or Resist Ice, which is good, because I know if I can just keep that. It's always nice to inherit the Null or Resist spells whenever you can, because honestly, you never know when you're going to need that, when you're going to get that persona who has a weakness, and then you magically have that weakness covered thanks to, just keeping it with you. Even if that persona doesn't need it, you always want to bring it. I have not found one gold. I almost got that gold shadow, but it ran away. But I have yet to actually get a gold shadow this entire exploration. I think I came into one, but it ran away immediately, which kind of pissed me off, because I need 2 gold medals to get whatever it is. Yeah, why did I forget it? Elizabeth has to offer. So yeah, there's that. I'll probably have to grind off screen for that. I think I got all the necessary things for, like, the enemies, like kill so-and-so to get so-and-so amount of things. I did that Elizabeth request. I definitely did the rare shadow request. I'm sorry, the strong shadow request, so that's, meaningless. But yes. So, yeah, I'll have to look off screen for that. Again, that spear. Best thing ever, man. And Sojo learns Hama Boost, which means that now our Hama spells will be that much cooler. I was tempted to switch out of my spear, because the weapons are actually getting pretty strong. It's almost to par with these guys, but something about using wind attacks just makes me feel nice inside, honestly. You probably won't the moment the next boss is, like, totally resistant to wind, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And yes, it's always nice when, like, all of my team does pierce damage. Yeah, it just so happens it was orchestrated like that. Nothing to complain about, though. But yes, again, I didn't think I got Garula yet, but I think I'm getting really close. I am using Cert unnecessarily. Anytime now. How much does he have? I definitely looked. I couldn't tell you, but I did look. So obviously he must be somewhat close. If I had to guess. Oh yes, if you notice there, I don't expect you to notice, but because everything's going goddamn fast, but if Minato is down, you can't do an all-out attack. That's just a thing. If he's in some uncontrolling status effect like Rage or Charm, you can't do it either. Just keep that in mind. Or anyone for that matter. If they're in a status effect like that, they can't participate in an all-out attack. But if Minato is like that, then you can't even do the all-out attack. Just keep that in mind. Is Yukari? Yeah, Yukari is once again running out of SP again. I guess these exploration things are getting longer. Maybe we're getting more. Maybe it's because we just got all the neat moves moves like faster than like, you know, to compensate. Like the moment, like the first time you get all those cool moves, then like you probably don't have enough SP to use them. You know, consecutive. Use them a lot because I can't honestly think of the word right now. Until like, you know, you get more SP later along the line, then you can actually use them consistently. I think that's the word I'm thinking of. Anywho's, the boss is at floor now, and I totally forgot to unspeed up things, but that's fine. It's only me saving. So anywho's, in the next part, we will be taking on the next boss, perhaps? I don't know. We'll be doing something next time on Let's Play Persona 3 FES. Until then, this has been Skittflash. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Bye!